Hello. Does Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building mean anything to anyone there? Yeah, send hearts if you know what it means. So that's one person. Hi, please send hearts if you know what the Edward R. Murrah Federal Building was. Let's go take a look and see what's left of it. 20 years ago, a man pulled up to this site in a Ryder truck packed with a huge IED, as we call them now, improvised explosive device. Yeah, no one wants to watch this, I see. Anyway, this is the site of the Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City. 20 years ago, a man named Timothy McVeigh drove up to this site in a Ryder truck packed with a fertilizer-based IED and parked it there and set the fuse and left. Later he was picked up on a routine traffic stop, and his accomplice Terry Nichols was likewise apprehended. And in the meantime, about 800 people were killed or maimed, including preschool children in a daycare center in the basement of the building. We're here, as timing would have it, with the flags flying at half-staff for the victims of terrorism in Paris today, and yet not in solidarity for the people who died in Baghdad or Beirut or Kenya. Now, I haven't been to Baghdad, Beirut, or Kenya. I did spend a lot of time in Paris. I worked there for about 2 or 3 months. This is Timothy McVeigh's legacy. I believe it's 169 markers for each life that he took. Now, here's the sick part in my... As I was going through Kansas, I heard the opinion that what happened here in Oklahoma City 20 years ago was not a terrorist act. That McVeigh and Nichols weren't terrorists. They were, and I'm quoting here, just a couple of guys who were fed up with the government. Well, what's the definition of terrorism? If you're fed up with the government and you don't see relief at the ballot box, and then you think the way to affect change is to blow up friggin' preschoolers, you're a terrorist. You don't have to say Allahu Akbar before doing something like that to be a terrorist. And for a very brief period of time, what happened here was the worst act of terrorism ever on American soil. Of course, shortly after this happened, I moved to New York, and shortly after that happened, 9/11 happened. So, anyway, I wish I could say that it was, that it had even occurred to me to come to this plaza while I was in Oklahoma City. The fact is, it didn't. I'm doing this in tribute to my son James, who is something of a serial killer and mass murder buff. He's a big Dexter fan. He's taking forensics in high school now, and he's just very into the subject, to the point where I'm a little distressed. But you know, that's my boy. Anyway, when I told him where I was, it didn't occur to me that Oklahoma City was the place of a massive terrorist attack. I got here and it occurred to me, this is a place where everyone seems real friendly, and there's this great river walk done up in brick, and some awesome bars and restaurants. So, and a very nice Hampton Inn. So, it just didn't occur to me to drop by here. But then, who farted? You know, M. Biggins, I'm not going to block you now. I'm going to think you're just somebody with no class who needs to be called out on it, and has capacity to learn. Don't do it again. All right. So anyway, James is the one who told me. I was walking back to the hotel from the restaurant in Bricktown, and he reminds me, and well, I guess I got to turn around and come back here and pay my respects. So anyway, this is William Friedman for the Cross Country Local at the site of the Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City. And let's just give that one last look. I'm not going to make this too commercial. Okay, terrorist is everyone that walks among us. I don't even know what that means. No, I think a terrorist is someone who parks a Ryder truck full of explosives in front of a building and blows up 800 people. So anyway, William Friedman, Cross Country Local, trek across the United States from the Atlantic to the Pacific using only local transit. Please follow me here on Periscope. I promise I'm not usually this kind of Debbie Downer, but the occasion calls for it. Please invite your friends to follow the Cross Country Local on Periscope, and follow Cross Country Local on Facebook. You can also follow hashtag XCLocal, that's X-Ray Charlie Local, on Instagram and Twitter. And if you can help out financially with a contribution, go to the GoFundMe campaign for Cross Country Local. Could you? Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry. Anyway, well, that about does it from here. I will be on the bus tomorrow afternoon to Dallas, and I'll see you along the route.